Hey guys, I want to quickly go over my best Greatsword build for sub hunter rank 16. I'm saying sub hunter rank 16 because once you're at level 16 you can get behemoth armor, which is the best armor for every melee weapon except for charge blade and gun lance. Most gun lances. There's still swing lance, but that's a whole nother topic. Anyhow, this is the best build because you have infinite sharpness due to 100% critical. And 100% critical is also good because there's a 1.25 multiplier on damage when you do critical. This could be increased with critical boost, but we don't have room to fit that into this build without sacrificing too much. So 1.2 multiplier on damage is basically a quarter more damage off of your base, so that's a quarter less attacking you have to do in order to slay or capture the monster. So let's go over the skills. We have Health Boost 3. Health Boost 3 is very important for any beginner and even players that are pretty good at the game. It basically, you can play reckless and not worry about dodging as much, and even if you get hit or you're not going to die. There's still going to be one-shot attacks that will kill you, but that's later on in the game, and by then you should have behemoth, so you shouldn't worry too much about that. It's also, once you get hit, you fall down, you get up, and you drink your potion, go on your way with the fight. Critical Eye, Weakness Exploit, those are critical building skills. We'll go over that later. Blast Attack is from the Kaiser Coil. This is actually a byproduct of Teosha's technique to get Master's Touch. But because the Defender Greatsword was released, which has Blast Element, all the skills on this list ties in, which is a great thing. Moving to the next skill, Focus. Focus is good because it makes your charging time with your Greatswords a lot quicker. This means more true charges, meaning more damage, quicker damage, and also when you're winding up, that time where the sword hits the ground and to when you get into the charging position, there's nothing you can do in that situation. So decreasing that time will give you the chance to tackle quicker to stop yourself from getting knocked over or even stunning the monster so that he doesn't even get to hit you. Moving to the next skill, Latent Power and Max Might. Those are, again, critical building skills, and we'll go over that later. Attack Boost is a byproduct of the Nergigante Helmet A, but you could go for B, but there's no real reason to go for B because you get the one decoration slots, where it's replaced with attack decoration basically. So just go for A for now. There's no reason to go for B, I don't think. And then Teosha's technique, as I mentioned earlier, this is how you get your infinite sharpness. Prevents your weapon from losing sharpness during critical hits. You need 3 Teosha pieces, which we have here. The chest and helmet of Teosha is garbage, so we can't fit that in the build, and there's no point in doing so. So going over the 100% critical, we'll count on it off. Makes life easy. Max, let's start from this top. So we got Critical Eye. This is 10% critical. This is constant. There's no, activations, things needed for it. Weakness Exploit, there is activation. You have to hit a weak spot. That's pretty common when you fight a monster. You want to hit the weak points anyway. It only makes sense. You'll get 50% more when you hit the weak spots. So off of the bat with these two, you're at 60% critical already. Latent Power, you get 20% more, so you're at 80. This one's a little more tricky to activate, but even so, you'll still be at high with 80 once you get Max Might. We'll go over Max Might first, just to make it easy. So Max Might, pretty straightforward. Increase affinity when stamina is full. So once your stamina is full, you get 20% more critical. Can't go wrong with that. With Greatsword, you don't really lose stamina because while you're charging, your stamina actually increases. It regenerates. And back to Latent Power. So with all those without Latent Power, you'll be at 80%. Latent Power will be the only one that's going to be a little hard to activate, but if you're a good greatsword player and you can tackle and everything, you'll still take damage, and latent power will activate pretty quickly. So, temporary increase affinity. The stamina depletion afterwards we don't really care about, but it's nice, I guess. This skill only lasts a little bit. I'm not sure the duration time, but I think it's like a minute. So once it's activated, you're at 100%, so every hit should be guaranteed. And I'll even show you with the training post that even without latent power, you can still achieve a lot of critical hits. Because it's 80% critical, you know, that's still high. So at 80% plus the 20, there's your 100. And that's how we get 100% critical, keep our sharpness 100%, and so forth. So right now, you see it says 30. But that's without weakness exploit. If I hit a weak spot, it should give us up to 80 then. Well, 80 once I hit a weak spot, not up to. And then once latent power activates, unfortunately the training post here won't hit me. Well, you just saw that, I did not critical. So you know you critical is if you hit and you see that little star under the 5. I'll do it again. So there it is under the 5, the middle one. That's how you know you critical. If you don't get that little star, you know you did not critical. So let's see what we can do. Like there, that wasn't a critical. Bam, 683 on a critical. And you know, 8 out of 10 hits is a critical, so that's pretty good. So until you, get latent power, it's not going to be guaranteed 100%, but this is still pretty good. This also works. You see how my stamina just goes right back up. Like even if I roll, tackle, and start charging, by the time I get to my true charge, see, it's already full. And that's why this build works so well. I didn't critical that time, and you can see the difference: 530 to like 660. That's like 100 damage difference. Little less. I mean, little more actually. And here's the ledge hopping you would do. See, by the time I land my hit, my stamina's full. So as long as you're pounding onto the monster's head, you'll have your 100% critical on the monster. And 1142 attack power, that's pretty good. This is actually a really good build for multiplayer, because most players nowadays use Defender, so they'll have Blast Element too, which will help blow up the monster. So, really good build to run around. If you're a beginner player, this is what you should use. If you don't have Behemoth, once you get Behemoth armor, you'll switch that up. But until then, this is relatively easy to get, and it's really good. It's not that far away from like a Behemoth build, because the only thing that Behemoth would have over this is critical boost, which is that multiplier I was talking about, that 1.25, which is when you're critical, but critical boost increases that up to 1.4. So really that's the only big difference. There's also the attack increase, but those are pretty minute, you know, pretty small. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you use my build. Comment below if you believe there's a better build for great swords at sub 16, or you know, before you get Behemoth. You can add me for help and other tips and ideas. Please do not ask me to carry you. I really hate carrying people. In some cases I do it for like 1 to 16, but I generally like trying to help people get better at the game. So yep, so check the description if I missed anything, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.